Well, congratulations on the film. I think it's a heartwarming story that I think many different age groups can appreciate. Did you have that sense when you were reading the script that this was a story that was more than just entertainment? It had something to teach people.
I don't know that I felt it had something to teach people. I just thought this is a well-wrought script, and it's touching and truthful, and at times funny. And that's a fairly good sort of starting place for a script to be in. I thought, and the part they're offering me is good, and I like it, and I'll do it.
I thought your character, Tom, was one who was the most comfortable with himself out of all of the characters, but what he struggled with was what happened to his childhood love. And it was hard to see him go through that because he seemed like such a good guy, you know. Tell me about your experience in playing that role and how different it was to kind of be out in India and this man in search of, I guess, righting a past wrong.
Well, it wasn't necessarily righting a wrong. It was just sort of rediscovering something in himself that he felt was valuable, and that was what he had to do. So to track down the love of his life, was sort of important to him. Though I'm guessing that at the time he didn't really know what it would mean. I mean, the fellow could have just turned around and said, "I don't know who you are. I'm sorry, but but that didn't happen. So that was very nice." And the fact that, well, for the movie as a whole, that it was shot in India was very useful, very shrewd sort of move for the filmmakers, because it's such a contrast to the sort of lives people were living in England, and then suddenly they're presented with this sort of crazy world of India.
It was a rich background with the hotel and all of the colors and the people.
Yeah.
And Penelope, your character, I felt like she was a stereotypical tourist. And she has a funny line in the movie where she says, "Don't drink the water." And you always hear that when you go to a foreign country.
Absolutely.
Tell me, how much of a divergence was this character for you, and how did you prepare for this role of this kind of closed-in person?
Well, I think there are quite a few people like that. I don't think she's unusual. I think that that a lot of people would feel like Jean felt going somewhere. I mean, it's a fear of the unknown, and also fear that she won't have her position, because there's a sort of feeling that she wants to be someone who matters. And she probably does in her little community at home. And she wants to sort of feel that she has she can slightly lord it over people. That's one of the fantasies she has about India, I think. I think her difficulty, of course, is that she's an unhappy woman anyhow, because she's in a difficult relationship, which makes everything far more poignant for her. And she doesn't trust. She's untrustworthy, and she has she lives by rules, and so she hugs that book to herself, and the other characters seem to be throwing that book away, with the except even Maggie, who starts off being rather frightened by Maggie Smith, and then by the end she's starting to join in. And Ruth is never able to make that leap, so she finds life very difficult. But I think that it would have been rather unreal if there hadn't been a character like Ruth amongst this group, because not everyone can throw themselves into something and expect it to work, because that's not reality.
No, she's a woman. I think she's been married 40 years too long.
Yeah.
40 years. And what would you say to your friends and family to get them to go and see this movie? Because I think everyone can kind of pick up on something about adventure and life from seeing this.
I think what you said about it being for for such a big, wide group of people, not just for one age group. It's a sort of, so I would say that really, you could go as a family and see this movie, and you didn't. There's a lot of different things and a lot of people who having a different experience, and it's wryly humorous and. I hate films that keep saying, "Oh, and it's funny too," but the human condition is quite funny, and I think that Al Parker, who wrote the script, has picked up on our idiosyncrasies, and how the English travel is always amusing. some of us travel better than others.
Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to go see it with my mom in theaters May 4th here at AMC
Yeah.
Theaters.
She love it, your mum. Well, you
I
already
already
do.
love it.